playing Beast Caller, round number 6 of 9 here in the Swiss. We appreciate you guys joining us. Cedric Phillips, Ari Lax, SCG Richmond. Tweet at us if you want at SCG Live, hashtag SCGRORI. That's not no, RICH. As round number 6 is going to be underway here, in just a moment, you see Gindy does play Temple Guard and passes the turn back. So
no 1-drop for Gindy.
Which is a little bit surprising, but he does have an Elvish Visionary, so he's going to draw a card and pass it back.
Looks like he drew big Garrick.
Yeah, it's Garrick, or excuse me, Gindy, not Garrick, is actually trying to abuse the new legendary rule, it feels like.
Really?
Yeah, but by playing 8 Garricks, being able to actually replace them and not have them actually kill each other.
Another Elvish Visionary down for Gindy, another Garrick to hand, it looks like. Garrick's for days.
Yeah, going to play a Temple Guard and going to attack for 1. And the funny thing here, too, is that, you know, Jund is a deck that actually has some difficulty with Planeswalkers, and Gindy has 8 of them.
Yeah. You are not going to run Jund out of, or run this elf deck out of Planeswalkers.
No, not at all. Now, the big deal here for you is that he was actually able to play a Farseek, get ahead, and then play a Hunt Master that fells.
But that lines up right into Gindy's Garrick. Of the small variety. Garrick Relentless.
Yeah, that's what you're going to see. It's going to fight. It's going to flip into Garrick the Veil Cursed. And I'm very interested to see how he can use Garrick the Veil Cursed in his deck, because he does have a ton of 4-ofs. He can tutor for cards like Crater of Behemoth and Elvish Archer and stuff like that, though. So he actually does have some utility with those cards. The scary card for Gindy in this matchup not only is Bonfire the Dam, but it's a card that you actually has in his hand. This is going to play an untapped Blood Crypt, and that card is Olivia Voldaren.
He also has Bonfire, too. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a really scary card.
So this Bonfire can take out Gindy's entire board. Looks like this Blood Crypt's going to be tapped. Looks like this Bonfire is going to be for 1, destroying all of Gindy's permanents. Gindy with just 4 lands, taking 2 damage from this Wolf token.
All right, so Gindy's going to untap. He's going to draw again. You see at least 1 land. I think he might have 2 in there, and then multiple Garrick Caller of Beasts.
Gindy, it looks like he's sporting an Adventure Time shirt. Good choice.
Debatable. Yep, I'm gonna hurt my street cred with that one.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I know what's going on. You see Scorn Villager going to come into play. The flip side of that is little Red Riding Hood. Gindy's going to pass the turn.
I'll give you that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was that intentional?
It was intentional.
Okay.
That's why I did it.
Okay.
Yep. Now here's Olivia Voldaren and passing the turn back. So, Gindy going to draw a card. There's a Garrick Caller of Beasts. He's going to slam that down. 6 mana Garrick. We're going to bring it up on the screen for you. It's going up. It's going to lead the Stampede. 2, 3, 4, 5. So just +4. Isn't that easy?
Just an opportunity.
Yeah, isn't that easy?
Now, I don't even know if that's enough to fight back from this board. Olivia Voldaren is scary. Olivia Voldaren is going to kill everything.
Well, it can win the game on its own. That's for sure.
So, Garrick Caller of Beasts, in case you aren't intimately familiar with the card that just came out a week ago, 4 green, starts at 4 loyalty, +1 to reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and put all creatures revealed that way into your hand. So lead the Stampede. -3, put a green creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. So Dramatic Entrance, I believe is the name.
That is correct.
Shadowmoor. Then the -7 is you get an emblem with whenever you play a creature, you may search your deck for a creature and put that card into play.
So if you ever get to Ultimate Land, the game is going to be pretty hard to lose. But Gindy's deck is using this, you know, as a Lead the Stampede, the first ability, and as a Dramatic Entrance, the second ability for Crater of Behemoth. How you manage his resources is going to be interesting, again, because he does have Olivia, and Olivia can battle down, since it is a 4 now, and can take care of that Garrick if he wants to.
You can also shoot his own Wolf to add a second counter to the Olivia,
Yep.
allowing him to bash into Garrick, kill it, and get in 2 damage if that's what he's into.
Yep. Or does he want to leave two shots available because he knows that Gindy has a bunch of elves in his deck, and it looks like he's going to leave 2 shots available, and you see a couple Thractus, he's just going to pass the turn.
Gindy draws another mana elf. A few Garricks back. I don't even know what he can cast this turn.
I mean, he has another Garrick Caller Beast. He could draw a bunch of cards again, but what, you know.
What are these cards doing?
Yeah, what does that do? Because Olivia is here holding down the fort, and Jarvis just has a bunch of mana available.
Gindy can play 3 1/1s, but they're all going to die.
Yep. We're going to start with Elvish Visionary. Draw a card. Garrick.
1 turn too late to deal with that Olivia. Gindy eyeing his multiple Elvish Mystics and Scorn Villager.
And there is a Garrick. He's going to fight the wolf token.
Okay. Maybe take a clock off the board.
Yeah, I mean, he could be trying to induce too, honestly. Shoot there. Olivia's going to go up to 2. Gonna make it a 5/5. Jarvis will draw a card. He's going to take care of that. Garrick the Veil Curse. He's going to tap some mana. He's going to play a Thragtusk. And I actually think that this may be what Gindy wants to have happen, which is have Jarvis tap low.
Then make a huge board and create the next turn.
Yep, I think that's
Not
actually what he
everything
wants to
can
do. Yep.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Again, Gindy's sitting right now at 16, so it looks like he's probably going to make it for another turn. Again, Olivia being a 5/5, Thragtusk being a 5/5, that's representing 10 damage. Gindy going to go down to 14. So there's Mystic. Another Mystic. Pass the turn back. Yeah, pass a Township activation at the ready. So those are going to get a counter each. Now they're 2 toughness.
Olivia goes up a counter as it tried to shoot one of those down. Jarvis stuck on 3 red lands, it looks like? Or is there one buried underneath?
Well, he's got 3 red sources.
Yeah, if he's got... Well, if he only has 3, he can't play an untapped non-red source for the 4th shot and kill both of those.
Sure.
That's the important thing.
1, 2, 3. So his Castle Wolfram activation can be for 4. 5 and 4 is 9. 9 and 6 is 15.
That forces a block with a Mystic. So Gindy will have to block with a Mystic, and Jarvis will get to shoot down the other one.
Yep. The question is, does Jarvis find the play?
I trust Jarvis. He plays a lot of standard. He plays a lot of wolf runs between Bant and this deck. I think he's pretty familiar with that kind of math.
See him going through the motions. I mean, he's set aside here his Castle Wolfram along with 2 lands.
Yeah.
So it looks like he understands that he needs to do that, and he hasn't even played a land yet this turn.
He might be debating if this untapped Overgrown Tomb is worth it. I think it might be because it forces the double block. And then he can just say, okay, Thragtusk dies, play another Thragtusk, go.
Yep.
Things not looking good for the good guys.
No, I can't say that things are looking good for the Beast Caller deck, and there's Overgrown Tomb going to come to play untapped, and he's going to attack with Bull. So it looks like he has figured out the equation here. Separates his mana, has the Wolf Run activation at the ready. It's going to be for 5 if he wants it to be. See Gindy doing the math now too, and he's just going to concede the game, knowing that he cannot win the game now. So Jarvis Shue is going to be up a game over Charles Gindy. Jund defeating this brand new Beast Caller deck. We're going to take a look at Gindy's sideboard first. This is going to be on the play. He has 3 Fogs, 2 Rave Revelation, 4 Thalia Guardian of Thraben, 3 Thragtusk and Elder Scale Worm, and 2 Pithing Needle. Cards that are pretty important here. Thalia is interesting. We'll get to that one in just a second. Pithing Needle, obvious thing that's going to shut down is Olivia Voldaren, which I think is necessary.
Yes, absolutely.
You look at Thalia, the fact that can really mess up the way that Jarvis can play the game with his spells. Of course, Bonfire of the Damned for 1 is super good. If you can make it so that costs 4 mana, makes things more difficult. Of course, Tragic Slip, any of the removal spells, even Farseek on the draw, making that cost 3 mana, so Gindy can't ramp. I think I kind of like Thalia in this matchup, but the Planeswalker's costing 1 more mana?
Yeah, I think I really like Thalia. I think that all of Jarvis's creatures just don't do anything in this matchup.
Okay.
He's like, yo, Thragtusk, and he's like, okay, you gain 5, Crater Hoof does 45, and your 5/3 is never going to hit me. I don't really care. So I think that turning off the removal, letting yourself not get sort of, every time a mana elf dies, it feels like a time walk. Okay. I don't want Jarvis to time walk into his 5 drops.
Sure.
And Thalia really helps on that front.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him boarding it in. You know, I don't think he should board in a card like Thragtusk in this match.
No,
I don't think it accomplishes anything.
That's fighting Jund on its own terms.
Yep.
You could think about Ray of Revelation if he's afraid of Curse of Dustle.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough fear of multiple curses to bring one in.
Yeah, I think, you know, if Jarvis on the school thought that Reed Duke was on for Grand Prix Miami, where he had 1 in his sideboard, and most players have kind of adopted that, then is he going to sideboard in Rave Revelation deal with 1 Curse of Death hold? I don't think so.
Yeah, especially because even if you get the Ray, the curse is going to wrath you.
Yeah, it's still going to have an effect.
Yeah, you're throwing another card on the pile to get there. Pithing Needle is pretty awesome. It shuts down Liliana and Olivia.
Okay.
And Wolf Run, if that's the case. If you need to spend a couple turns trump blocking and not die.
Yeah.
Killing or shutting down Wolf Run's pretty important.
Okay. Take a look at Jarvis' sideboard here. I know he's got some nice cards in there.
He's not as heavy as some of the lists we've seen, I feel like, but he's got some more tragic slips. He's got some sweepers. He's got 2 Barter and Blood, 2 Golgari Charm, and a Curse of Desolate. So multiple creatures in play, not necessarily safe. He's also got Liliana in the Veils, which is, again, just another way to kill someone. So the question is, what is he boarding out?
Yeah, that is the question.
So I might board down on 3. Well, you're boarding out Garrett Primal, do you agree?
I agree with that. Too slow.
Yeah, kind
I
of
still think
awkward
it's
to
very
cast.
good. Yeah.
So Garrett Primal Hunter out. Not boarding out any of these removal spells.
No.
Absolutely not. Boarding out Rakdos Return is questionable. Like, Rakdos Return is one of your few ways to interact with Garrett Collar Beast at parity.
Sure.
Right? If they plus it, you can return it and their cards. That's fine. I can see wanting those. Scavenging Ooze out.
I think Thraktos Scout.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was about to say that.
Yeah, I think Thraktos Scout. I think that you can win the game with Huntmaster of the Fells and Olivia Valderin. It'd be perfectly fine.
Or even just, Planeswalker tick up.
Yeah. I don't think that he needs to have the density of Thraktos.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to have much effect in this matchup. As you said, the 5 life doesn't matter. The 5/3 body is almost irrelevant. And I think he just has better creatures for the matchup. And with all the removal he's going to board in, I just want a density removal, and then like Huntmaster, which can be a removal spell, and Livia, which can be a removal spell.
I also want to board an Arbor Elf.
Yeah, he's got 2 copies of those, which we haven't seen for a long time in Jund decks anymore.
Yeah, in and out between Montreal and now.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill something.
Yeah.
My Arbor Elf does not trade for your Arbor Elf.
Yep.
Out of the.
I feel the exact same way.
So that's 2 Arbor Elves, 3 Scavenging Ooze, 2 Garrix. Might need to get a couple more cards out. We'll see. Gindy leads off into Averson's Pilgrim. Jarvis just has a tapped Woodland Cemetery.
Maybe that means he's on the Buddy Land draw. There's a Elvish Archdruid.
Now keep in mind, Gindy didn't have a 1-drop last game. Now we get to see these real explosive draws.
Yep.
And Jarvis just has a Farseek here. Gindy gets to untap with the Archdruid.
Now the other thing that also keep in mind too, which is kind of ironic, is that Averson's Pilgrim, even though it is a mana accelerant, it is a human. It is not an elf. So you're not going to get 2 mana from that Archer. You're only going to get 1. So right now Gindy can ramp up to 5 mana. He draws an Arbor Elf, which actually is an elf, but he doesn't have 6 mana to be able to play a Garrett Caller of Beasts on turn 3.
So 3 mana.
Another
Archdruid and a Pilgrim.
Okay. So he has all the mana accelerants.
Our creatures are officially out of Bonfire range,
Yep.
even out of a Miracle.
Yeah, the only things that would die from Bonfire right now, if a Miracle one off the top, Jarvis draws a Putrefy, is the Averson's Pilgrims.
Yeah. Those are not especially important. He could Bonfire for 1 and then Tragic slip down to Archdruid.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty crucial play. Looks like he's just putrefying an Archdruid.
Does he have a Tragic slip too? Okay,
No.
Arbor Elf. I thought it was. He does have Curse of Desolate in his hand. Does you? He also has Bonfire the Dam too.
That is a Gavany Township for Gindy.
That's a big draw.
Now Gindy untaps with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana on his 2 lands. 3 lands now. He's got a lot of options. He can he's gonna Garrick fight the Arbor Elf, flip it. I can imagine flip Garrick in this deck is a huge threat.
Yeah, I agree.
They're just gonna bash.
Oh, no, this is a little bit surprising because if he has a land, he goes land, Bonfire for 2, kill everything. Yep, and that's what's going to happen. Whereas if Gindy maybe keeps up the activation of Gavany Township, that does not occur. And now his last card in his hand is the 6 mana Garrick, and now he's super far behind, has to pass the turn back, and we know that Yu has the ultimate backbreaker in his hand.
He has a lot of backbreakers.
Yeah.
There's Curse, he's got Barter and Blood, he's got Rakdos Return. Gindy is not going to have a good time for the rest of this game.
No, he is not.
I just want everyone to give a warm round of applause to our magic artist. He's leaving now, Mr. R.K. Post. Thanks for coming out all the way from Seattle.
Gindy's just drawing cards and passing the turn. He's out of this game.
Yeah, I don't really think there's any way for him to come back again because I don't think he has any way to actually beat Curse of Desolate again. We know that he has access to Ray of Revelation in his sideboard, but I can't imagine that he boarded them in, and he has to just pass the turn back every turn. Any mana elf that he draws, and his deck is full of them, is going to die. And then if he ever draws like another one, like an Elvish Archdruid, then Jarvis just kills that.
Yeah, this is hard to watch.
Yeah. You see Cavern Souls in his hand along with Garrick Caller the Beast. So Gindy is going to play that. He's going to slam down Garrick.
Plus.
But the
5.
play that you mentioned here, 1, a 2. Wow, both needles going to go to the bottom. Avison's Pilgrim, Crater Hoof Behemoth. So it's going to draw him 2. But the play that you mentioned exactly during sideboarding of he can actually chase down a Garrick Caller Beast in the cards it draws with Rakdos Return is what I think we're about to see here.
Yeah, just all of your stuff gone.
Yep. It's going to be for 6, and you discard your hand and you lose your Garrick. Yeah, and he almost played the Elvish Mystic and passed the turn back.
Jarvis, yeah, you don't really have a way to win, but it doesn't really matter because I don't think you can either.
Yeah, he doesn't need a way to win if the opponent can't do anything. He did board in Rare Revelation. Wow, okay.
Okay. Jarvis's hand's still stacked. Looks like a Tragic Slip, an Abrupt Decay, a Golgari Charm, and a Barter in Blood.
Yep.
He's just kind of looking, do I want to kill that? What do I use? He's opting to Tragic Slip, just prevent it from getting out of hand with his Township.
Yep.
Oh, another Mystic.
Might see an upkeep activation here from Gindy. No, he's just going to pass the turn. Castic Wolf from the draw.
Jarvis just needs to find a way to deal damage.
He needs
Gindy.
one actual threat to win the game. That's all that it takes. He will close the game out in like 2 turns if he draws an actual threat because of that Wolf run now.
1 is enough for anyone.
Uh-huh.
Counter.
You pass the turn back. Attempt to put a counter. Resolves. Force the draw.
I would have Golgari Charm there, I think.
Yeah, I think I would trade my removal 1 for 1. I really would.
Yeah.
Like he has a barter, so I understand like why he doesn't want to. Here's a Bonfire of the Damned.
Okay, that's
I would do
most
it.
of the damage.
Yeah, I would do it for everything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
10,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I just got to do that once more. That's enough too.
Yep.
Sure.
Any draws, passes the turn.
Gindy at 1 Miracle Bonfire from lethal.
I think that's a Rakdos return. Yeah.
Yep. 1 short.
All those X spells.
Don't do it.
3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gindy goes down to 1.
Jarvis leaving him dangling by a thread.
Yeah. Now there's a Thalia right on time. Guardian of Thraben. And there's a Hunt Match of the Fells. And that is the one that's going to get it done. So you
Jarvis
finally finds a creature.
Just wanted to not wait on that return. Just wanted to stick the dagger a little
Yeah.
deeper.
There's your Wolf token. There's 2 more life. Thalia going to get a +1/+1 counter. There's a Golgari Charm going to kill that. Give it -1/-1 in response to the Township. Gindy going to draw. He's going to concede the game. Jarvis, you going to defeat Charles Gindy. Jun defeats Gindy and his Beast Caller deck 2 games to 0. So Charles Gindy is out of top 8 contention, and Jarvis Yu is still very much alive. And Jund, 4 for 4 on camera.
Yeah, Jund has been Junding it up. I don't know how to say it. Back in the day, this is what Jund did to people. Now this time around, we're not Bloodbraid Elfing, but I'll take it.
The deck has not gotten any worse. You can argue that it's only gotten better because it's gotten some new tools. Now, it does have a new tool to fight against, of course, with Burning Earth, but not every deck can play that card.
Yeah, and even then, we watched Drew Levin just straight up lose with that card.
Yeah, yeah. Kept the hand based around Burning Earth, flooded out, and then ended up losing, so.
Okay. So some match updates. Ed Womble, who we watched a couple rounds ago, defeat, or his last round, defeat Drew Levin.
Yep. Yeah, last round.
Yeah, he defeated Pat Cox in a Jund mirror.
Okay.